show you some cool techniques that you can use your border punches for. You can see it in this layout that I made, Garden and Friends. That lovely piece of lace was actually made with my apron lace border punch. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you some of my favorite tools and some different punch effects that you can get. I've already trimmed out some papers from my scraps. I always have leftovers. I bet you do too. And I've got some of my favorite punches here. The EK Success Corner Rounder multiple tasking tool. And then I have my Martha Stewart Doily Edge border punch. Apron lace, the one I used to make the lace in the border. And our old trusty standby, the Fiskars Threading Water Punch. There are lots of products on the market today. Doodlebug's got some frills that you can buy, and Basil's famous for Just the Edge and all their beautiful colors. And while you can go out and buy these things, if you're like me, you have lots of scraps and that match your projects perfectly. So I'm going to show you how to make some of these exact same things with the tools you already have on hand. Starting with our EK Success Corner Rounder. And all you have to do is pop off the guide and it becomes a scallop edge. So we're going to flip our paper over and we're going to line it up, and since I want to do it down two sides, I'm going to put it in a place where I know I can start it. I'm going to have a punch down. There we go. You can see how it punches right out like that. It's a little 3D action coming at you in the computer. So the next one I'm going to line up, and it does take some trial and error, but don't worry. Just start a little bit longer piece or practice and get the hang of it before you start one on your actual project. Now I'm just going to continue down the line here until I've got all the way down the sides. Now it's almost all the way down the side, so I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to start coming down the other edge. And since I can't work right to left, I'm going to flip my paper over and make life a little bit easier for me. So starting in as close to the same place as I can get. So starting in as close as I can, we're just going to keep on going all the way down. So there we have our scallop border. And I'm just going to trim it off, make a little pile, and move on to the next project. This time we're going to be using threading water. Love threading water. You can see Fiskars has nice little tools to help us line things up nice and easily. I'm going to get my paper in there. I always start at the top. Some people start at the middle, and I always line it up with the edge of the punch so I know where I'm going. Whichever you work, and somebody will probably correct me that this is what works for me, and that's what scrapbooking is all about, what works for you. So I'm lining my hole punches up. Whoop, too close, sorry about that. And we're going to punch down both sides. Got my first side done, and again I'm going to flip over the paper and I'm going to line it up as close as I can to the original, but just a little bit off because the look I'm going for, I don't quite want parallel holes. You may want that on a different project, but I think these holes just slightly offset make for a really cool lace-like effect. I think you could really do, the more off you go, the more fun you could have. Maybe you're going to thread some floss in there, all sorts of ideas that you can get there. But there you see, I can flip it back over and get the hole that I missed, or I can just trim it right off. So we're just trimming it down a little bit, getting our scissor action out and making it to the size that we need and cutting the borders off, and we're ready to go. Goodbye threading water. Next up, the apron lace punch. This is really popular. We're going to start it off the same way that we started with our threading water. Got our piece of paper here. Going to go down the side and flip it over and go down the other side. The width really makes a difference here, and you can get different looks depending on the width of your paper. So I'm starting out with an inch paper, and we'll go and show you a couple different options down the line. Again, with the starting place, and down both sides. There's a really popular look that you see everywhere. Now I'm going to do the other side, and again I'm flipping my paper over so I can work in the direction that I want to. I got it a little bit off, but that's not a problem. I can go back in and fix it in a little bit. Yep, we're down to the end. I've got a couple wispy bits that I'm going to go back and catch so I can line it right up. And there we go. I'm going to do it with a little bit thinner strip now so you can see the difference. The other thing that you can do is take your scissors and actually cut out the insides of the hole. I'm going to trim it down first, but then I'm going to go back in and take the little middle part out of the hole, and then I have a strip that looks a little bit like pearls coming down the line, and this is exactly what I did on the Garden Friends layout. So you just snip a couple. Last but not least, the Martha Stewart doily lace punch, really popular right now, and it's the same technique, so I hope you're kind of getting the feel for it now. We just go up one side, flip our paper, and come back down the other. Okay, one side's done, and I'm going back down the other side. Pretty soon we'll have it all done, and we'll have this lovely doily lace look ready for our next project. There you have it. Here's all 6 of the borders that we made today with some simple supplies that I know you already have on hand. I hope you enjoyed this video and you get out your border punches and try and play and see what kind of fun designs you can make. This has been Kristen for craftgirlkits.com. Come back soon.